guys had a good 4 hours. Stressful, but you got fed, which is always good, right? Always good. Was it more challenging than you anticipated? Miss M, are all laptops in the back?
Do it. All right, I'll call time.
We're missing Team 2's laptop.
Time extend like 2 minutes, and then when 30 seconds.
Team 2 and 6, your laptops, if you can get those to the back ledge with your team poster. So we need your laptops in the back on the ledge. Awesome. You guys look tired and worn out. It was that bad, huh? Plus, it's, we had the time change. That didn't help, right? Time change didn't help. All right. Are we all in here? Okay. All right. Our judges are ready. Look at them. They're all getting things ready over there.
Carrie, do you want to hook up your laptop?
The laptop, I need it. Yes.
Do you need to hook it up?
It's in I put it on the ledge.
Do you need to hook it
yes,
up right
I do
now?
need it up. Yes. Thank you. I'm sorry. My ears are not working that good. All right. So that was a quick 4 hours. Quick 4 hours. I want to give you guys a round of applause for all of that hard work, stress that you guys did. So please put your hands together. Yeah, we appreciate all of your hard work. We know that things don't always work out, and you guys were changing things, asking questions. Our judges were so excited when they went by. They were asking you all kinds of questions as well. They actually we were discussing how nice it was. They appreciated being able to do that, so they got an understanding of what you're trying to do. And so that way, when you come to present, it's much easier for them to ask you questions and to understand your project. So thank you for that. Thank you, teachers, for providing all this extra tech, because we realized that we needed some extra tech up here. And so teachers were coming in saying, can we set up this? Can we set up that? And the Pac-Man made it happen. So let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, Nick. You're awesome. We appreciate you. So I think I need to give you a little background on our judges, because you know what? They took 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours out of their day to actually come here and work with you and give you feedback, and to be part of this presentation, your presentations today. So I want to formally introduce you to them. We have Antone Andrews. This is this gentleman right here. Awesome. Round of applause. Thank you so much. Antone is electronics technologist who's worked with advanced computer-controlled systems for over 3 decades. He primarily provided field engineering, technical training, and sustainment support on diverse systems ranging from nuclear reactor instrumentation and controls, linear accelerators, and unmanned aircraft. He's currently an aerospace technical training project manager. In his 30-year career, he has seen tremendous growth in the integration and application of microprocessors and microcontrollers into every aspect of modern life. A self-described hacker and nerd, Antone is interested in all things tech. He is currently pursuing a degree in cybersecurity and hopes to grow his career in aerospace cybersecurity. Thank you so much. Let's give him a round of applause for being here. Thank you for your patience. I had to make sure I had copies of this because I didn't want to just say this is so-and-so, because they have such a vast background and such interesting things that they've done in their lives that relate to what you're doing here. So I think it's super important to hear their story. So I want to introduce you to our next judge, Juan Rivera. This is Juan. Juan is a retired director of communications at Barstow Marine Corps Base. He's born in East Orange, New Jersey, grew up in New York City, entered the United States Marine Corps as a military police officer after a decorated tour of service. He was honorably discharged in '88. He began his federal service career in the Marine Corps logistics base in Barstow as a laborer. And then he moved up to laundry worker, office automation clerk, and in '92 was selected as a computer specialist. He began as a hardware technician and was soon promoted to network specialist. In 2000, he was selected as an email administrator with the U.S. Coast Guard, where he also joined the Coast Guard Auxiliary as a communications officer. After 9/11, we all remember that event, he was solicited to be a founding member of the newly created Department of Homeland Security. His responsibility was to stand up a new program at that time called cybersecurity. He engulfed himself in education and training in that newly specialized field, where he was able to successfully achieve 14 certifications. As a computer forensic investigator, he was instrumental in counter narco and anti-terrorism operations in Central and South America. He received a Presidential Unit Citation Award for assisting in the communications stand-up for the Coast Guard and FEMA during Hurricane Katrina. As a computer ethical hacker, Mr. Rivera was responsible for network penetration tactics. In 2011, after 10 years of contributing to the success of Department of Homeland Security, he returned back to the Marine Corps base. He was elected the Information Assurance Manager, then promoted to Installation IT Officer, and finally succeeded in achieving Communications Director. He retired from federal service after faithfully serving 38 years and currently sits on the Barstow College Foundation Board. And personally, he's achieved black belts in judo, aikido, brown belt in jiu-jitsu, he's a certified combat knife instructor and scuba diver, owner of 2 mixed martial arts schools, and is a published author of multiple books on martial arts. He's married for over 20 years, has a son and a daughter, and 4 grandchildren. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like you to meet our next judge. Her name is Robin Armstrong. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Robin is a supervisor with the Operations Department at NASA Goldstone. She ensures constant communication takes place between ground antennas and spacecraft located in the far reaches of the solar system. Goldstone is one of the 3 complexes that make up the Deep Space Network, with the other sites being Madrid, Spain, and Canberra, Australia. The Deep Space Network helps to ensure the success of many space missions, including the Voyagers, the Mars rovers, the James Webb Space Telescope, and most recently was responsible for providing constant tracking and communication services for the entirety of the Artemis 1 mission to the moon and back. That's far out for sure. Industry experience and background that she holds is a bachelor's in aerospace engineering and mechanical engineering from UC Davis, a bachelor's in science, computer science and information systems from Park University. She's raised right here in the high desert, actually in Newberry Springs, was the first in her family to graduate with her bachelor's degree. One of the responsibilities of her job is to serve in the capacity of the Assistant Systems Administrator for the Operations Network at Goldstone. She loves reading fantasy sci-fi novels, playing board games, working on her makerspace workshop, and developing her small apps and programs to automate her daily tasks. Thank you so much for being here. Let's give her another round of applause. Thank you, Robin. All right, our final judge comes to us from Victor Valley College, Shane Thomas. Thank you so much. Shane Thomas is an instructor of computer information systems. And Shane has taught networking, database administration, and programming for Victor Valley College for the past 23 years, and is currently the department chair of the Computer Information Systems Department. He holds a bachelor's in math and master's in data analytics. So prior to coming to Victor Valley College, he worked in as a network administration, database design, and custom application development. He also served in the U.S. Army. When he isn't on the computer, like most of you guys are, right? He is likely spending time outdoors with his family and his friends. So thank you so much, Shane, for being here with us. All right. I appreciate you. All right. So we have some kind of technical things to go through. So team one is going to come up. Are they ready to go in the back? Do we have our operator of tech in the back for team one? Perfect. I want to just go over and change this so that we can I guess I could do that, right? A little late on that. So let's another round of applause for Antone Andrews. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Juan Rivera, for your time. Thank you so much. And Robin Armstrong. And Shane Thomas. All right, just a reminder of what we did today for the past 4 hours was had you guys created your app, website, or product on this challenge. You got 2 minutes, 30 seconds to present. You get a timer at how many minutes? 2. Second timer means what? Done. Okay. How many minutes do you have for Q&A? Wonderful. Who can be up on stage? Your whole team? But your tech person needs to be back there until the tech is done. Okay? If you have items that you need to place and use as part of your presentation, those go on that table on top, or table in the center. I'll move those things out of the way. But other than that, congratulations. Let's give you guys a round of applause again. Okay, so can we have team one up at the front and on stage? If you can enter this way. Awesome, thank you, round of applause, amazing.
Hello, everyone. So today, me and my team, we have a problem with security at our school. The problem with the security at our school is that we have a dial-up extension where we need to use that to contact a lot of administrators for if there's an emergency in our school. We found that to be a difficult process for newer teachers or even in a panic of an emergency. So we made a system that's efficient and helps prioritize who needs help and where. And this is David, and he's going to explain some problems that we have.
So in 2023 alone, there have been 9 school shootings or active shooters on campus. And in the last 6 years, there have been 153. And in the last 10 years, there have been 279 deaths in schools during active shooters.
So I'm Keanu, and on average, about 6,800 natural disasters happen each year worldwide. So with our Dave security system, schools can stay on top of safety and alert members about varying levels and situations of danger.
So this is a mock-up that I made on a 3D modeler, and that's how the buttons would sit on a desk, like a teacher's desk. Green is always on, and it would show on a map that your section of the school is safe. Yellow's for natural disasters like fires or earthquake, or if there's been an injury. And red is for an active shooter or an outside threat trying to approach the school. And you would just click the button and it would mark on the map your location.
So here's our example for a final one. So we would have always green on this motherboard or breadboard, and it would represent, here would be like the map at the school, So it would, as you saw, it had the different lights on it. So here it would show that we have a green light, and then afterwards it would turn on to orange to represent a fire, and this would light up different sections of the school to help prioritize where that fire is. And then red would be our active shooting. And that's pretty much all of it. Then the all clear would be green once again after everything. And that's our final system.
Check, check. Thank you for the presentation. I have a question. Where would the buttons, the distress buttons, be located?
On the desk of any teacher, any given teacher in any classroom.
So the teachers would have these. Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
What kind of system would you use for location? How would the actual system actually decide where it's at or determine where its location at is in the school?
So the school would be split up into sections like how it was on the map, and it would mark up your location, and that section would be notified, and teachers in that section would get like notifications saying like, hey, just be aware, and it wouldn't interrupt the class, so it wouldn't scare anyone. It would just be a small notification on your computer, and so yeah, it would show up on that section, so it's split up into sections.
Okay, my question is, it seems like they would have to like physically, do they have to physically press the button? So do you have like a backup for if they would be, unable to physically press the button, or?
You said a backup in case the physical button doesn't work?
Yeah, like is there a way like that it could, somehow?
So the button is there for ease of access, but as of right now, what we have in our schools is a very clunky system where you dial an extension and it brings you to the receptionist of the school, and you would then tell her the problem and then, or them the problem, and then they would alert the school if it was a code red or a fire drill or anything like that. And so that system would still be in place. We wouldn't remove that system, but we feel that when teachers are able, this is the preferable option because it's much quicker, it's less distracting for if it's a false alarm, and it's, just a better system overall. So we keep the other system in case they're unable, it breaks, or we just need the alarm to go off, like, typically.
All right, thank you.
So you have the button system. Do you have any plans to integrate some sort of a interactive communication, audio, video, something like that, to be able to further describe the situation at hand?
Yes, we currently have in place. We want to add in a sound. So with each different level of the lights system, we would like a different sound to be in place. And we also have in place for future reference and future just upgradability. We have just pretty much a whole system that will go along with another system. So multiple schools, multiple boards, multiple lights, multiple sounds, and there will be also training on how these sounds correlate to the different emergencies.
We'd also have, this is completely entirely set up for expandability. So if we needed more specific lights or for, specific problems, we are fully capable to add them. So if we needed a blue light for something obscure, like, something that it doesn't fall under these three categories, then it would be easily added, and, we could update all the systems in the school with the sound, yes.
What programming language did you use?
For this one, I believe it's C++ that we use for this.
And last question for me is, where would the, you say you have a phone system now that reports to the receptionist. Where would this signal be reported to?
This would be reported to security because, security or the fire department, to make sure that if there was an active shooter on campus, they could investigate it immediately to make sure that all the students are safe.
revisit the location question. You're going to physically zone out the school and have dedicated zones. How would the device know which zone it's in? How would you implement that?
We think that we could possibly set them into groups. So we could have a group, say like a C, B, or A group. And if the A group is pressed, then they know exactly where that will be on the map.
Would that be hard coded in your code, put into your code, or would it detect that based on location?
Would we what?
Would it detect it where it's at or would it be hard coded? You'd program it ahead of time, or would it
It would
detect
be
where it's at?
programmed ahead of time.
Okay, thank you.
We got number 1 done. Awesome job, guys. A lot of stress. We appreciate your calmness, speaking clear. I think we're going to ask the judges just to hold that mic a little bit closer. Would that help you guys? So that way you can hear the questions? Okay. All right. Do we have team 2 almost ready here? Okay, perfect. We have our laptop tech operator for team 2 ready to go. Wonderful. Do you have anything that you need to place on the table? Okay. All right. The team that is called Cody. The team name is Cody. Okay. Some competition. Okay, you guys ready? Okay. All right, team 2, please take the stage. Yeah, team 2.
We're ready. Starting now? Okay, so our code here is basically a way to make sure that students who are getting into on-campus events are the students who are supposed to be getting onto those events. The people who have registered and the people who are approved to be on those events. For example, proms, talent shows, dances. The goal is to prevent any unwanted issues from occurring during those events. So if we could get our switch over to our actual code and our project. That's our code. Okay, so our project is up right there. As you can see, it has 3 input spots, one for an ID number, which is our student 4-digit ID number, one for their first and last name, and one for their ticket number, which will be provided to them when they purchase the ticket to their event. They're required to have these when they enter the event. As you can see, we're going to use our basic, our base. We have this hard coded in right now. In actual application, it would be reading to the student database that the school has, and it would be actually checking to make sure that that student is on the database and is a student at the school. So we're just inputting the ticket number here, and if we could actually input that wrong right now and hit check info, you can see it says data mismatch. This is what occurs when there is invalid data. Say the student's name and ID number does not match to their ticket number. This alerts the security guard who would be staying at a kiosk inputting this information that student is not approved to be on the event. If we could go ahead and input the correct information now. Now you can see it pulls up an image of the student so that the security guard on campus can verify that the student is the correct student. All the information matches so that the student can now be allowed onto the event. We've added error validation so that if you try to, say, input more numbers on your ID number than 4, for instance, as our tech is going to try to do right now, she is currently clicking a different number to try and input more than 4 numbers. It is not letting her. If she tries to input a letter, for instance, enter only numbers. It does the exact same thing for name with numbers and the exact same thing with ticket. You cannot enter more than 10 digits on ticket, and you cannot enter letters on ticket. That should be it for our presentation. Thank you very much.
So it looks like you're validating the input, but the question I have is whether or not that input is directly read into your code or if it's actually parsed and ran through some type of validation effort before being parsed to make sure you don't pass an inadvertent command, kind of like a SQL injection attack type of event.
Could you repeat? I'm sorry, it was a little hard to hear.
So do you sanitize the code before you process it? When you put in a student ID or a name, do you actually analyze it to make sure it's not going to trigger a response in your code so that it's a passive process?
That is the idea. I think one thing we missed out on was ensuring that only the amount of digits are inputted. So, for example, only 4 digits are inputted. We just ensured that it could not go past 4. So, if given a little more time, we would have added that. And it is set up so that anything, if there is a mismatch, it won't like completely break the code. It'll just output mismatch.
Now, do you have an ability if you already have someone that may have gotten information and like made a copy of a ticket or something, if it already knows if somebody is in there, will it say, hey, like this person's already in here?
Currently, we do not know. It would be pretty simple to implement, maybe 5 lines of code, 30 seconds to 2 minutes. But no, we currently do not have that in there.
Okay.
Hi, 2 questions. One is the programming language you used.
Okay, so the program language is Java.
And second, when you put in the ID or the ticket information, all that, and you validate it, and a picture of you comes up validating that you're the student, you can verify the face. So is the idea that is to have all the students' photographs on the server?
So the plan is for it to link up to the school's student database, which obviously we are unable to do right now. But the student database contains a list of all of the names, the IDs, and I believe the student ID photos as well. So what it would do is it would talk to the MySQL server, and it would grab that information and then use it in the code. So it would be able to spot up a new image of a different student every time.
Are there any plans to implement some sort of a checking feature for any students that might be flagged for a particular event? Not just ones that hadn't registered, but ones that you need to have some special security protocols in place for, say a particular student who's been banned for whatever reason.
So that, at least at AVHS, that process all occurs during the purchase of tickets. So if you have a ticket that is valid, that can be used, then that student has already been okayed to go through the event.
Thanks.
Did you have ways or plans to implement a faster process instead of typing in your actual name, implementing some type of lookup function to where you'd start to type someone's name and it would autofill based on the results of an ongoing query?
We felt that adding the input, like the typing input, was the best way, as having like a drop down. I guess I see, like, you mean like if you had like a scanner like that you could input the throw the ID under. That could be something that could be done. We just had it like this for now as proof of concept. If there were more optimization ways, then we would implement them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Thank you so much. Fantastic work. So amazing. We have team 3 in position. We're going to give our judges just a few minutes to finalize their scoring. But if we can make sure our tech person for team 3 is in the back, we'll be ready to go. And does team 3 have any items to display on the table? Okay, perfect. All right. So let's give us a few minutes and then we'll call you up on stage. This school is Oak Hills High School Tech. The team is Oak Hills High School Tech.
Can you please display the website, please? All right. Yes, okay. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Valeria Ramirez, and I will be presenting Team 3's Safe Haven. So could you please scroll down? Okay, so our product aims to protect and assist students' safety, both mentally and physically, through check-in stations that are placed throughout all campuses and all educational groups. Taking inspiration from blue emergency buttons found on college campuses and ER rooms, our product aims to ease all potential emergencies that may arise on campus. So if you could please move on to logistics. So in any case of help, the Arduino that we programmed would be able to present that. So I will be passing it on to you, Matt.
Okay, so our Arduino is pretty much programmed to, we have 3 buttons. Those 3 buttons are used for 3 different things. First button is for emergency. It would dial 911 in case of emergency. Oh, my bad. Okay, so it would dial 911 in case of emergency, which would be red. Green, the second button, would be mental health, because a lot of students, it doesn't matter what grade you are, do have suffered or could have suffered from mental health and may need help at that time. And then the third button is for campus assistance. Whatever you need, and one of the campus assistants would come on. When we finished the program, we would have had it to where it would display a different text if something were to be called. Like if red was or if the first button would have been pressed, it would call 911 in case of emergency.
Hello. To give it a personal example from one of these situations, in my case, I fractured my ankle not too long ago, and on campus, there is a slight problem where I do have difficulties going into school. So if I were to have a check-in station at school, my quality of life and overall experience at school would be so much more helpful. And with that,
so overall, what we're trying to do is that we're trying to get to the root of the problem of student safety. If we really want to ensure it, we have to start at the root of the problem, which is the students themselves. So we can start with their mental health, and we want to prevent the thoughts of them thinking that there's no one that cares about them, because if they, okay, sorry.
Would there be a audio associated with it? And the reason I ask is because the printout comes out in a letter format, but what if you're unable to type in, your hand got injured, or that? Would there be an audio response or a microphone built in with it?
There could be a microphone response, and in fact, we were even thinking about adding Braille to it so that even people who were blind could read or get help with this.
What programming language did you use to code it?
We use C++.
Thank you.
Okay, so I understand. So each student is going to have one of these, and is that
No, so as we explained, this was taken from inspiration of these blue emergency buttons that can be found on college campuses. So these would be generally stations that would be strategically placed throughout different types of campuses. So, for example, let's say that I'm not feeling well, I need mental health assistance. If I find one of those like near stations to me, I would be able to press the mental health button, and I would need to get whatever help I would get.
And just to add on to this would be in middle schools, elementary schools, high schools, and as well added on to colleges.
okay? So you're going to have it in certain locations. So is it able to know like where the issue is taking place?
So since these are going to be planted at schools, the idea that we have it originally was that these signals will be sent to the office, and then from there, the office can decide who they need to send. For example, if they need campus assistance, they'll call for a proctor with the radios that they always carry around. If they need a student counselor or like someone that the student needs to vent to, they could simply send that person to that location of where the student pressed the buttons.
Okay, thank you.
The interaction sounds like goes to a campus center. Is there any consideration for integrating that or at least duplicating that message to perhaps a district or regional center, receiving center?
I'm sorry, could you please repeat that and maybe put the microphone closer as well? I'm sorry.
Yeah, are there any considerations for monitoring this beyond just the individual site? Perhaps at a regional monitoring center or at the district office or campus police, something like that.
I believe that this would have to be, I mean, eventually, like there would have to be maybe a specific like part where this all would be monitored. Though, if anything, it would have to make an infrastructure for that campus in order for it to be monitored well.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
can you move this to the? Oh, okay.
Got a lot of stuff. We're sorry. Is that good? Ish, maybe? Not readable? No? No. That doesn't help. I don't know.
All right, is that the gray? Oh, focus. Okay. Are we good to start? Okay, just a sec. Is everything connected? No, it's fine.
There we go.
All right, so we're ready to start. Yeah. So my name's Aiden, and this is Blake. I'm a recently diagnosed type 1 diabetic, and the prompt for this was about student safety and other things like that. I know a lot of these have broad approaches and other things, but I sought to go after a smaller group of people that make up the campus, which is diabetics. So basically, what it does is my Dexcom, which is this little machine that I have in my arm, it transmits to our Raspberry Pi, and that itself will grab the information from online and it'll transmit it to this. Now, normally for low blood sugar, it's less than 70, but for this demonstration, we're doing it for less than 300 because I'm a little high right now, which is not good. But so if we could start this code up. There you go. So you see it's flashing low 187, and stuff like this can be placed on teachers' desks, nurses, and stuff like that. And I know that a struggle for me a lot of the time is that I'll be taking tests, I'll be doing stuff, and I can't check my phone that's buzzing in my pocket. So I don't always know. Oh, I don't always know if what my blood sugar is at. And so stuff like this on the teacher's desk can be beneficial. And as you can see, my monitor updates every 5 minutes. So you're not gonna be able to see it change that much. But 170, it was just at 178 and now it's at 179. Oh, 187, now it's at 179. Can we pull up our code, Caleb?
So to clarify, the numbers that were being displayed was his current blood sugar level, just in case that wasn't clear. So what we got right now is the code that allowed us to write this program and allowed us to access everything. Okay, a little bit quickly. So we have from pidex.com, that's the Dex that he has on him. This allows us to get the Dexcom info. RP LCD is what controls the LCD. Dexcom equals Dexcom, that's his login information, so we get to his count. The current glucose reading, that's what he's reading currently. We go down, glucose reading, he reads it, clears the screen, we print the value to the screen, which is LCD write string, that's printing the value there, and we can just follow it along.
Okay, so my question is, so it's reading from his device now. Are you going to have like one device per student, or can it also tell like what, who's coming up basically?
So yeah, it's customizable by login information. We could add on multiple bars to this, but other than that, we need to expand the screen. Anybody with the Dexcom and potentially, I think it's called a Libre. That's a different type of monitor that could also be read up, just depending on what libraries are available on Arduino or Raspberry Pi.
In this day and age, HIPAA is a huge concern. Health information is protected. So what would you propose to make sure that only authorized people were able to access the screen and share your blood sugar? I know it doesn't seem like you have a problem with it, but for some people, they may not want that shared with everyone.
So a potential solution for that would just to be keep it with the nurses. The nurses obviously have to sign HIPAA. They know all about HIPAA. Yeah, you could also have a login, and this potentially doesn't also need to be covered. If we flip this, is it on right now?
The speaker?
Yeah.
Speaker's off right now.
Turn the speaker on. It also shows buzzing, which it can also turn off because you don't want the annoying diabetic kids thing to be showing off all the time.
That audio alert is triggered when your blood sugar is seen as being low.
Is low, yes.
And so the audio alert kicks on,
Audio
alerts
kicks on.
someone that says, hey, your blood sugar's low.
Yes. I know a lot of the times when I'm sleeping at night, I don't even notice when my blood sugar is low, and that can be really dangerous because you can slip into comas and stuff like that. But potentially having this sound going off constantly is really helpful.
What code did you use?
We use Python on the Raspberry Pi.
Did you use some sort of a library that's pre-programmed, ready to connect to the DEX?
Yes, we did.
And were there any considerations on two-way nature of the communication to protect information from going back to somebody's CGM and possibly changing settings on device, changing identifications to protect the individually?
So the key thing of this is just that it collects data. It really can't change anything, but this isn't connected to a pump at all. So the information that's being used from this is only going to be shown for low blood sugar.
Right. The library does connect to the Dexcom though, so there is a two-way communication. Maybe just looking at the library and figuring out if that library has the ability to contact the DEX. Does it also have the ability to get in and modify settings? Since it's a shared borrowed library, looking at some of those security settings.
So a potential solution for that would be to create our own library that would be secure, but unfortunately we did not have the time for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so guys, so we're Chat GHHS, and then this is our project STS. And so basically, our project involves basically when students have to go out and go to the restroom and everything, because typically right now we have this system at the school right now called the 5-star system. But the thing is that it's a very inconvenient, I guess, way to just go to the bathroom, because we have to install this app to our phones, and then no one wants to really use up all the unnecessary space on their phone. And almost no one at the school actually even knows it exists, because only a few students actually even know it exists. And also the fact that just a lot of the students in the school, just they go out to the restroom and then they're gone for like hours on end, and then we don't know where they're at, and then we just want to figure out a simpler and easier way to do this. And so our project involves just having a very simple RFID cards that we use for the sensor. And this sensor basically allows us to go at every 5 minutes. And then if these 5 minutes run out, then it will alert the teacher that the students have been out for 5 minutes. And then, yeah.
Can we go to the slides, please? All right, if we go to the how it works part, we can see that it takes a couple of steps. So we can skip through these slides that Philip already talked about. When we get to the how it works part, is that you scan the ID card, it will record which student scanned it and the unique ID number. It'll start a timer of who has left. And if that timer runs out, it will display the student's ID. It will give the teacher the ability to check who has been out. And when the student comes back in, he will be able to check back into the system. It will stop the timer and let him go, or let him or her go back to their seat. If another student attempts to go out while there is already a student out, the system will not let 2 students be out, so their ID card will not be scanned. Can we go back to the camera?
Okay, so for example, I'll start off. This is my student ID with another RFID scanner added on. So if I hit the RFID scanner, it gives me a 5-minute timer to go to the bathroom and then come back. And once I come back, I can scan and allow me to return to my seat and uncheck me out.
All right, so now, for example, if he signs in again, he has to go use restroom. Now, if I want to try and go use the restroom, I come and scan my card. It denies me, saying a student is currently at the restroom. Please wait. Now he has to come back in. And now that he has come back, I can come over and scan my card and take my time.
Who controls the issue of the cards? Would every student have a card, or would when you check into a classroom, does the teacher, do you have to go up to the teacher to get a card? How would the cards work as far as disseminating them?
So at the beginning of the year, or when you go take your pictures for like the school year, you get a student ID. So the RFID would be inside of the student ID for every student in the school to have a bathroom pass to use the bathrooms throughout the school.
To add on to that, we already have a system that uses something like this, but the problem is most people cannot understand it, or there's many like privacy concerns about it, as it reaches into much of your personal data. So this is another like more hardware focused idea that will allow it to work much better without many of the concerns of our current system.
What programming code did you use?
We use C++.
The 5-minute timeout setting, is that a adjustable setting, or is that hard coded?
It's adjustable just by like a single digit. You just gotta change the 5 minutes to like 6 minutes to 7, 8, 9, any amount you want.
And can that be done at like an individual teacher level? Does that have to be done at the site level, or how is that determined?
It is done through the program, but it can also be done through another. If furthermore for the program, if we were to like go further, it'd just be a simple press of a button, adding less or more time.
As they are all have Arduinos on them, you can individually change them too, depending on like the class. So say like you're an extra 2 minutes away from a bathroom, you can adjust the time to allow the student to get back in time and have the same amount of time as other classes would allow.
Thank you.
Oh, if I may add on to that, we didn't get to it on slides, but we 3D modeled a station that would go next to the door, and that's where we plan to have the buttons to modify the time.
Okay, so this is based on one person being able to use the restroom at a time. Do you have plans in place if you needed to have more than one person? Because I know a lot of schools use a buddy system.
So the reason that we have 5 minutes is because you should be able to hold it for more than 5 minutes. So then someone can go use the restroom, come back, and then why only one person at a time?
Oh yeah, also because the fact that every single teacher here, they have a system where like, well, not a system, but like they have a rule, only one person can go out to use the restroom at a time. Like, because if legit it happens where someone asks to go, but another person in the restroom, they just said you have to wait. Like legit, we can't let you go out until the next person comes back. So it's built for one person to be able to use it all the time, because every single teacher here has the rule that they can't allow multiple people to go to the restroom at the same time.
All right, thank you.
Where'd you get the code library for the RF reader? And did you use code libraries that existed already, or did you write everything from beginning to end?
There was a code library for the RFID and the LCD display.
We're good. All right. So today, me and my team created a website that displays a product that would tackle two issues in one, basically. Those two being mental health issues on campus and student safety and responsibility. The product is called Low Card. And if you scroll down, you can see what it does. Low Card is a very simple addition, yet very effective, as it allows students and staff to stay safe. It would monitor student activity around campus and as some of the previous products showed, you like the going to the bathroom. If a student is out for more than the allowed time, they would the office would be notified, and they would be able to fix the issue. And if you scroll down, or sorry, scroll back up all the way, and click on help.
Here is our therapy page that we have set up for any students that are having any sort of mental health issues. Basically, this card right here would help them allow to get into contact much easier with help that they would need. So they would be allowed to set up not only in-person but online therapy sessions if they felt like if they felt uncomfortable talking to somebody in person. And instead of like filling out any information or anything, all they would have to do is simply scan a card at a reader and it would have their information ready. The other feature of this card is that we felt that younger children needed to be a little bit safer when getting to school, because I do see some younger children walking to school around here. So we felt that it should be a card that you would check in with on campus. And if you weren't to check in at the right time, it would notify a parent who would have your ID login for the card. And they would be able, and only them would be able to track where your location is. We wanted to make sure that nobody else nor the schools could track students. And so we felt that it needed a two-step authentication on it. So if somebody else had your ID and tried to log in, they would send a notification to like the home device. Oh, if you would switch over to our code, please. And then here we have our 3 different languages that we use, as well as our 2 different web pages that we had to build to make this.
So my question's about who has access to that tracking. You said the family and only the family, and then somebody at the school site would have the ability to follow up and see where people are as well. Well, who would that be limited to?
Mainly just office staff. I mean, a teacher could notify, like, if you didn't show up or if something happened and they just felt like it wasn't okay, then office staff would be able to track you.
Is there a logging system that logs every time ID is tracked, so that you have a history log of any time whether parents or staff members at the school track a student, so that you have a complete log of exactly how that ID was used?
But you're asking about like a tracking history, like if anybody would be able to see who tracked what?
Yes.
Okay.
And preferably an immutable one that can't be changed.
We didn't have that implemented, but we felt that in order to keep it as safe as possible, the best thing to do would mainly just have the parent track. So like, for whatever reason, if somebody did get in, that's where the two-step authentication comes in, where if like software such as YouTube, if you try to log in, it sends you a notification and you can say, no, that wasn't me. And it would basically block the device.
How would that system work? Because if you have a physical card, how do you associate that with a human being? How do you know my card didn't become Robin's card, or I didn't take Robin's card and clock her into the classroom?
What we would have is an ID system that would set an ID to a student like we do now at schools, and only the student and the parent would have the ID to log into the card.
So sort of like back to the history, like if a card wasn't used in the proper manner, or somebody didn't authorize that person to use it in a certain way, then it would notify them, or you can see that in history. You can see that and report that it wasn't that student or the student doing that activity.
I guess the question, to be precise, is what associates a human to the card that you envision?
Mainly ID and images, like how the schools have ran now. They have a system intact where all of our identifications are tagged to an ID. So
yeah, I'm just thinking that if I wanted to go and play hooky, to use a really old term, You could just, I could just have my friend take my card to school and clock me in everywhere.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry, that
no,
maybe I shouldn't have
understand.
mentioned that. But
The card could have an image on it of the student. We felt that too much information, such as like name or address, would be too much to have on something that you could lose like that or give to other people. So besides an image, we felt that anything else added to it could, instead of being a safety like help, would impact it negatively.
thank you for that.
What software do you use?
So the actual software we use to program the website is called VS Code, and the 3 different languages we used was HTML, JavaScript, and CSS.
So you mentioned the two-factor authentication. Did you implement that, or was that?
No, we were not able to implement the 2-step authentication.
Okay, so is that like, is it like like an idea like an email or like a code sent to your phone or something?
Yeah, it would be an email sent to you basically that another device is trying to log into the account with the ID, and you would be able to say that like that isn't me, and it would not allow that device to log in.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Sweatshirt. We're just getting the camera. Yeah, just getting this camera set up on that. We're ready to go.
Okay, so our product is based on child abduction. Because in like elementary school, like kids can go ahead, walk home, and there's no precaution, and there's no checking on them. So with our product over here, for example, we took inspiration from the colleges, how they have the panic button, for example, like this, but that's only local. See how that's local? With ours, there will be a panic button with the elementary school kid. Distress alert. And so when they press it, it will send a signal, a panic distress signal to the school security and to also a parent. Because we have an app created for this device that will also send to the parent. And the button will look kind of like this. And it'll be on the student, on the elementary kid student. And another problem you might ask, these are just little elementary school kids. How are they going to they're going to accidentally press the button? But what we have is that you have to press it multiple times so that it's not accidentally pressed at all. So can you bring up the website, please? Okay, can you go down, please, to improvements? Okay, for improvements, what we're gonna do is we have a GPS, because if the kid was walking home and we didn't have a GPS, how would they find the problem or the child kidnapper? And another problem you might ask, well, if the kidnapper knows about this, they can just rip it off and then the student won't be able to use this. But if it is ripped off, it would activate the distress signal to the school security about the problem. Now, can we go to the app? Okay, Aaron.
So basically, the app is just a very, very simplified way of how it would work. So Alejandro, run it. So let's just say like that's the little compact disc that we have. If you were to press the button, or in this case, you have to press it 3 times, the parent would get a notification somewhat like that on their phone telling that their child may or may not be in danger from an attacker or something like that.
And that's all we got for now for our presentation. And questions?
First question is, what frequency does the transmitter run on, and how far would that frequency transmit?
So for now, we didn't have the correct tools to make what we wanted. So this is IR, as this is just a demonstration. We'd want to use one that's able to get wide, like radio signal, so I can go a further distance compared to just the IR.
And do you have any provisions for if it is outside of the range? Does it continue to try to alert, and once it comes back into range, it would trigger?
It would come from the source. So wherever it is, it would try to alert as much as it can until even, say they abducted the child, right? And they're moving and the child still has a thing, and say they went into a range of another thing, it would alert to that whatever receiver it can alert to, like a radio station or whatnot.
Okay, so the receiver, that opens up another can of worms. The receiver, you have some sort of a plan for those receivers to be commercially available, interact with other systems?
Yeah, I would like it to be wide range instead of limited. So it could be to all like different radio stations, frequencies, so that it can be alerted to wherever it is, because there's always something around that it can connect to or receive.
Okay, and then, sorry, I'm taking all these questions. One more follow-up. I wasn't expecting that. So if it connects to a wide variety of other sources, other receivers, how does it know, how does the signal establish where it comes from, its unique signature, how to help that child?
Okay, so what we have is we would want each button to go to a student, distinctly to each student. So it would have their name on them, and each student has an ID. So each button is assigned to an ID. So they would receive the ID and where it was located, so they would know what student it is. Because, for example, if it was like 6'8" and then say it was me, they would understand that that number belongs to me, so it is this person.
Okay. Just one consideration: if you have a student ID, that may not be recognized outside of the school area. So as it broadcasts further, maybe some consideration for how that thing identifies the school. Then.
Yeah, absolutely. We could
Cool.
do like name or something, just the name, which we would like to do, because then we just put like John Smith for the name, and we could do both student and John Smith name.
Thank you.
I didn't see a website update with the IR. So does this have an IR receiver right now that was demonstrated?
Yeah, so the IR receiver is right here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, see it flashing,
Oh.
but like the light is so dim, so you could barely see it. But as you can see, when I press the button, the IR does receive the.
I got you. So both transmitter and receiver are on that breadboard?
Yeah, they do work, as you could see.
Got it. All right. So your concept is vetted on both the IR transmitter and receiver on that board, so that when you trigger the IR transmitter, it sends the alert.
It sends the alert, absolutely. And then we would like, because you are using IR for the demonstration, but I said, we would like to use a different frequency so that it could be a longer range because ours is close.
Have you done any research to see what available RF spectrums available for use for such a project?
Not exactly yet. No, I didn't do that research. Is that all the questions?
Did you guys research how much energy it takes to create an RF signal that's powerful enough to be received, and how long the battery would last on a badge that was small enough to be concealed?
So with the battery, with the button, right? Because it would need a battery as it's. So there's some devices I've heard that they can be powered on movement. So a child's playing and it keeps charging because it's moving up and down. So that would keep the button to receive battery. As there's watches that do exist now that based on movement they keep ticking. We'd want a device or somewhat like that for the button, so it doesn't have to change the battery, as it'll always be powered. Is that all the questions?
And what would your implementation be for somebody that is mobility limited and doesn't bounce around a lot?
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
What would your implementation look like for somebody who is mobility challenged and doesn't have a lot of motion in their day-to-day life?
Mark, you want to answer that? It's a question for mobility. Someone that doesn't have mobility. So someone that
Yeah.
How
This is the code on the app.
would you keep it powered?
I mean, for that kind of situation, I say you could probably have it to where as the wheelchair is moving, it could probably also send in energy to that device, pretty much.
Thank you, guys.
What an amazing 7 presentations we've had. Great technical skills, great presentation skills. It's just been amazing. Please give everyone a round of applause. We've had 4 hours of work time, a couple hours of presentation time. We're going to take some time with our judges. We're going to go back. We're going to calculate some scores, and then we're going to come back with our top 3 winners. Woo! Yep, we're going to be leaving. So I'm going to leave you in the hands of Mr. Torres while we're gone. But please don't go anywhere. We've got some things for you in the meantime, and Mr. Torres is going to handle that. All right, see you in a few. Thank you so much. Another round of applause for everyone. Okay, we're going to step down this way. Whenever you're ready.
Yes, because you're the lead, so let's do it.
All right, you guys, great job. One thing while they're doing the tallying of the judges is we wanted to give you guys something to commemorate today. This is you guys did your competition today for your CTE pathway, but over the last couple of months, we've been doing competitions in auto, in cooking, in welding, construction. But our first competition that we did was with our graphic design classes. And they came up with a design for the competition pin. And it's something that we hope that you guys wear with pride. We hope that if you guys are a senior and you get a CTE stole to wear at graduation, that you put that pin on there. If you have a Letterman's jacket, that you wear it with pride, because you guys go to school with thousands of students, and you guys are the chosen few that are here today. So this pin is just to let you know that we recognize you, we see you, and we are proud of you. And this winning pin design came from a student, Chloe Cortina, at Apple Valley High School in the graphic design class. And so we're very proud of her, just as we are very, very proud of you guys today. So please wear it with pride. And again, we are so extremely proud of you guys. Thank you guys for all your work today. Oh, and we also have a gift from NASA. Wow. Okay. So I'll go ahead and I'll pass those out. And I'm so excited. That was so fantastic, you guys. My tall guys. You're my tall guy. You're my super tall guy. You're a tall guy. Hey, I'm a tall guy in my heart. No, I'm a tall guy in my heart. Right? That's right. Okay, and so then if you guys can. Do it, girl.
All right, guys. Here we go.
Look right here, guys. Yeah, you should.
All right.
Okay, right here, right here.
1, 2, 3. All right.
Please for me. Okay.
Pause up this too.
I can't see you in the red. Can you come just a little bit? I'll get you. I see it all. I see it all. All right, right here. And here. Just a little bit right here. Yeah, right there. All right. See, I see it all. All right. 1, 2. I see you, Heidi. I got it. Okay. Now bring up into your groups real quick. Oh yeah, right here, right here. Now if you can do your team. So team, one team right there. Okay, so I'll do my girl team. Right. It start forms up in 2 minutes.
It auto turns off after 8 hours, you say. This is really bad timing.
Demonize that well. Oh, do that. Okay, okay.
It's getting real weird. Fun.
Okay, son. All right. Okay. 1, 2. There. Got it. You guys are awesome.
you.
Appreciate you guys.
Hello.
out if someone would like to say a few words.
No, I did it last year. I refuse to do it again.
I do have.
Short and sweet. Hello.
So your guests were ahead. We just ran out of pins. Do you have any more pins that you might be able to get us in the future, in the near future?
So
The little pins.
yeah, I can talk to my
Because we had about a
If they
school who
would
didn't
like
get.
to come,
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I will look.
please,
Do you know
because
how many?
yeah, about 12.
12?
Yeah, like a yeah.
Did not everybody have that?
Oh, everybody took that. But the little pin, they were like little pins. Yeah. No, they weren't. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Before we do this, can I get a picture of all of you guys real quick? Yeah, at the table is good. Can I steal? Yes, of course. Yes. Okay, 1, 2. One more. Switch phones here. Oh, yours is way better than mine.
All right, we're going to finish up some pictures over here, but wow, judges had a very, very, very difficult time. To be honest with you, it was very close. It was very close. It's been such an amazing day for us to be part of this experience with you, and we hope that you have enjoyed yourself and that you've learned from today, and know that these skills that you've been learning are going to take you somewhere in your career, in your future. And your teachers, I know they're proud of you, as we are as well. So let's just give yourselves a round of applause again. And I know our judges wanted to share a little bit about the experience, and I'm not sure which one of you are up for that, but please go ahead and grab your mic and share a few words of this experience, and we'll be so appreciative of that, sir.
Check. Again, yes, on behalf of the judges here, and yes, as Miss Carey was identifying, it was really, really, really tough. The concepts, the proof of ideas, the presentations, to evaluate and score all of them and be fair was really challenging. We did a great job on it, but it definitely took everything we had to come out with the decision. So we all applaud all of you. And I wanted to tell you one thing, and that is, this is a hackathon. You come up with a concept. Don't let it just end after today. I know specifically, I belong on a college board. We have entrepreneurship courses and classes, and there's money and startup. What I'm trying to say is, if you have these concepts and ideas and you're taking the time to write code and come up with prototypes, I highly encourage you to continue to pursue and find the resources that's available to you to actually make those concepts a reality. So, and with that, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. Round of applause for those comments. Okay, so this is the tough part. So we are going to award our third place winner to team number 4. Awesome. We'd like you to come up for a picture. So if you can come up with your teacher for a picture, we'd love to get you. Yay! Team number 4. I think we lost someone to another event or two. Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. Woo! Okay. Now, We're ready to move on to our second place winners. That is team number 7. Woo! Awesome job, team 7. Congratulations. Can we get our instructor up here? Take a photo op with our students, our great technical skills, presentation skills, wonderful. Can we scoot over just a little bit? Or you can actually, yeah. Move them over. You want them in the middle. Awesome job. Congratulations. Another round of applause. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Woo! Way to go, guys. So this was the tough one. Just to let you know that we were very, very close and almost too close at times, right? So our first place winner is going to team number 3. Way to go, way to go. Awesome job. So I'm going to have you guys go ahead and grab the trophy because that's going to go home with you guys. So go ahead and grab that. And we need some photos. So please get in line right here. Congratulations. Way to go. Hold on a second right here. Each of you are going to go home with this precision screwdriver kit. So that way you can repair things and use that for your future endeavors. All right. Thank you, go guys. All right. All right. Congratulations. Congratulations. Awesome job. You guys, honestly, you've made this so rewarding to us. We appreciate you. We thank you for all your hard work in Hackathon. We hope that you'll come back the next year with your great ideas. And like Mr. Rivera said, it doesn't stop here. You know, your ideas can go further, and it's going to be based on your effort and your determination. So we really appreciate all the work that you've done here. Let's give everyone a round of applause. I want to thank our teachers, the teachers for all of the hard work in getting your students here and participating in today. And I think everyone had a great time. So give your teachers another round of applause because you would not be here without them. Fantastic. I also want to make sure we also recognize our judges for spending the time today and to give us their feedback. Thank you. Thank you so much. I need to thank my timer here, Mountain Desert Career Pathways, Victor Torres, my colleague, awesome. Summer also has been such a support for our event, thank you. And then Granite Hills High School, CTE, Miss Emily Cornwell and Miss Chris Palmore, awesome job, thank you so much. And thanks again to our CTE coordinators. We wouldn't be here without their support and their help in making this day happen as well. So thank you as well, CTE coordinators. Don't forget your cords, your computers. If you have anything in the back, let us know. Make sure that you don't leave here without it. And thank you so much. And we really appreciate all of your time and are excited for your next steps. Please come back. You could be a judge when you're finishing your career, right? You could be the next judge, right? Awesome. Thank you so much. One round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, so look at, oh. This is like my favorite thing to do. Honestly, when my supervisor was talking about competitions, I was like, let's do a hackathon. Let's do something for our IT students because you know what? IT always gets left out of things. So we want to make sure our IT gets recognized because technology is in everything we do. You know, everything that's been done has to do with some type of technology. So you guys are our future, and we wish you the best. And we're looking forward to all of the great work that you guys do in the future. All right. Thanks so much. All right, so look to your teachers and make sure that you have all of your connections and cords and things like that. Thank you guys so much and have a great day. Also, I just wanted to remind you that our judges are here as well. So if you wanted to speak to them, they're open to that as well. So if you wanted to ask them about things, then please feel free. You heard their backgrounds.